Don Lemon is at it again with his on-the-street interviews. So a few days ago, he went to Baltimore, and he was asking people about what they thought of President Trump's plan to send the National Guard to various cities to tamp down crime. Well, Don Lemon thought that most people in Baltimore would agree with him that it's overreach and an authoritarian move and just a flat-out bad idea. But to his dismay and surprise, most people in Baltimore, virtually everyone he talked to, agreed with him. Well, the same thing is happening in New York City, but this time Don Lemon is asking about Charlie Kirk.
What happened to Charlie Kirk?
It's just messed up, totally messed up. You know that was messed up. Like, nobody deserved that. He definitely didn't deserve that. He was a good guy.
You think he was a good guy?
I think he was.
Only Kirk
good morals.
Captain Kirk.
The what?
The only Kirk you recognize is Captain Kirk. I don't know Charlie Kirk. I don't know who that is.
You don't know who it is?
I don't know who that is.
I know who it was. Like,
I only know about him when
all of us have flaws. I can't really tell you what to believe in or how to feel. Like, everybody's having a human experience. Like, why knock him for having this human experience or what he believe in?
Even though even though he says things that are anti-women, black, all that.
I can't judge him for that.
You can't.
I can't judge him for that. But I can use judgment. He didn't deserve that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a human being.
Yeah.
You are very spiritual.
You know, yeah.
I
can't go left. I can't go left with that.
No, you sound like, you mean left, going
yeah,
left,
like,
not left.
Because I'm
right.
humanity.
Yeah.
I'm humanity and left first.
No, I love that. So the first person I spoke to here didn't want to be on camera, and he said, I can't judge him because I'm not God. And so let him, whatever the reaction is, if the government wants to give him a state-like funeral, if they let him do it because God is the only judge. And
yeah, like, nobody really can judge him.
Yeah.
And, like, I kind of, like, seen him before all of this happened, but I don't see what everybody else was seeing.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Hey, that's how you feel. It's nice to see you.
Keep in mind that New York City voted 67% for Kamala Harris. So most of the people he's talking to, if they ascribe to left-wing ideology, you would think that they would be on the same page as him. But person after person said, hey, no, I'm not going to judge him. No, I'm not going to celebrate death. And I don't know about you, but to me, that gives me a lot of hope. Now, I'm assuming that's her husband that was there with her. He said something interesting. He said, I don't recognize Charlie Kirk. I don't know if she does either. We know who Captain Kirk is. And to me, that also gives me hope because it's a reminder that, yes, even though you and I are plugged into politics, if you're watching my video, you obviously care about the news, you care what's going on in the country, but believe it or not everyone pays attention to the news. Not everyone pays attention to current events. In fact, if you take a look at the voting habits and voting statistics, there are so many millions of Americans who don't even vote in our presidential elections. So even though it may seem like the world is going crazy and people are just going insane, just remember, a lot of people are tapped out, and it's our job to plug them into the actual truth matrix instead of the misinformation media matrix that is out there. And quite frankly, that's part of the reason why I make videos in the first place, to push back against the propaganda and the hate that the left pushes out there. So one of the things that Don Lemon was trying to spread was this clip of a pastor preaching in church this past weekend. And this pastor basically was talking about how evil and horrible of a human being Charlie Kirk was and how it's disgusting that the right and people are even mourning him. Well, again, people are speaking out against this. And what's really notable to me is so many of these people making videos in response, especially on TikTok, to Don Lemon, a lot of them are minorities. And if you consider the fact that minorities have historically voted for Democrats, this, of course, has changed under President Trump, where Republicans continue to get a larger and larger share of minority voters. I mean, talk about a humiliation. Talk about blowback. This is just one of those responses.
This message is mostly directed at Don Lemon and those that are against the funeral procession of Charlie Kirk. Don Lemon said, why does he get a funeral by the state? Well, Don Lemon, we give two shits about what you think. We really do. As a matter of fact, we could spend $1 billion on Charlie Kirk's funeral. I wouldn't give two shits, and most of us would not, that know who Charlie Kirk really is. Don Lemon, did you have this conversation with your people when you guys were tearing out the country concerning George Floyd? Were you talking about all the money that it cost us to rebuild these cities? George Floyd was a nobody. George Floyd had no honor. See, Charlie Kirk is getting buried in the way he is because he is a man of honor. You choose not to believe that, that's on you. But George Floyd, for sure, was a nobody who you guys gave great honor to while the people that was worshiping him were tearing up the city and states in his name. And somebody was making billions of dollars off that chaos. So don't come talking to us, we conservatives, and the President of the United States, how we bury one of our fallen soldiers, even though he was not in the military. He was a soldier for this country. And you may believe it or not, he was a soldier for your children as well, Don Lemon. So don't talk to us about how we bury our dead, our warriors, our heroes. And you're not anybody to tell us who our heroes are. Because obviously, yours are all the ones that tore up everything in this country. There's a reason why you don't work at CNN. You were so stupid at CNN, they couldn't stand you. Now it's our turn. We can't stand you.
I mean, just talk about a complete turn of events, right? The fact that more and more people are speaking out, this really, I think, we're not going to realize the impact of Charlie Kirk's life until years or maybe even decades from now. What a pivotal... I mean, truly, how fitting that the organization he founded, the organization he was the CEO of, was called Turning Point. And all of this appears to be a true turning point in American history. And I think that's his legacy, is people seeing the truth, people being able to stand up, speak for themselves. And on a larger level, it's forcing a reckoning. What kind of people do we want to be? What kind of society, culture do we want to be? Do we want to be one that celebrates death and says people should die because they have viewpoints we don't agree with? Or do we want to be a culture and a society that says, hey, all lives matter, and we truly mean that, regardless of race, regardless of religious belief, regardless of political affiliation? For me, I believe that the choice is crystal clear. Now, people are still continuing to come out. There was the march in London where many people there mourned for Charlie Kirk. Also marches in South Korea. I shared that footage. Australia, New Zealand, and obviously happening here stateside. And it's also happening in states that are traditionally very, very blue. So Turning Point posted this: tonight's vigil for Charlie Kirk in Huntington Beach, California, and they ended up sharing this video. Just take a look at the size of the crowd, again, in deep blue California. You'll notice so many people at all of these vigils, not a single riot, no violence, no looting, no cars set on fire, no police officers assaulted. It truly is just peaceful mourning. I actually had a very close friend. For those of you who've been in with the channel for a while, you remember when my friend Troy used to come on. He actually attended this vigil in Franklin, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. Nashville is a very blue city. And basically what I'm hearing from everyone who's attending these vigils, and what I've been gathering online, is that they're not being politicized. People aren't even talking in terms of Republican. They're not even talking in terms of Charlie Kirk's political life, but they're essentially turning into worship services where people talk about life, they talk about goodness, they talk about God, and then they sing praise songs and worship songs. I mean, talk about a revival in this country. Now, unfortunately, as people come out to mourn, as people put up memorials, people are showing their true colors on the left. Yesterday, I posted a video. It's FAFO season, right? Someone went through the Charlie Kirk Memorial in Utah. He ran about like 15 yards. He was kicking over flowers, destroying vases, balloons. He ended up getting arrested. But people who are even putting up memorials on their own private property, it's being vandalized. It's being torched, like literally set on fire. Here's just one example that happened in Colorado.
What happened to Charlie was unspeakable. You know, everyone is destroyed over this.
So Michael and his family created a memorial along their fence to honor the slain CEO of Turning Point USA. But late Saturday night, vandals lit the display on fire.
When they burnt that fence, that fire could have went into that house and it could have really harmed somebody.
it's the rhetoric. It's what people are being fed. There's so much hate in this world, and we need to stop.
The vandals also broke the back window of the family's SUV. Neighbors have rushed to provide them with support.
I saw the damage that had done to my friend, and it ruined me.
When we quit communicating with each other, when we stopped the dialogue, and we just dehumanize each other.
The family spent time repainting the memorial. Now they send this message to all in the community, regardless of anyone's political affiliation.
Again, I just wanted to point out that there are no riots on our side of the aisle, and people are mourning in peace, yet violence is being enacted against the people who are mourning. What else does that say? I mean, obviously, what happened to Charlie was a horrific act of political violence, but that is also political violence. I mean, that is dangerous. When you are vandalizing someone's private property, where does the line end, right? It is a slippery slope. If you are willing to destroy property, then what's the next step? Is it someone's physical autonomy? Is it someone's own physical safety? That's where we're going down. And unfortunately, the left just keeps wanting to push people down that slippery slope. A similar thing actually also happened in New York City. Again, a deep blue city, but NYU College Republicans is a group, and they were holding a memorial, and there were counter protesters. Listen to one of the songs. Actually, multiple songs were being sung. One of them was Bella Ciao. For those of you unfamiliar, Bella Ciao, Ciao Ciao, was written on the casings by the assassin. Bella Ciao is an Antifa song. It is an anti-fascist song, and so that definitely has its connotations. And then this, well, I think it speaks for itself.
I don't want your salvations.
Why?
I want you to f***ing die. We're not gonna give you a second chance, even when you beg for it on your knees, begging and pleading.
I'm sorry. If the left is telling us who they are, if they are saying this stuff out loud, I'm the type of person. If you're going to show me your true colors, I'm going to believe them. I'm not going to delude myself. If you are, it is so scary to me that people are openly saying this, even though they know there are phones and cameras around. That means they have no shame. That means that their heart is filled with hatred. They believe that what they're doing is right, despite morality, despite the fact that obviously they would be arrested and thrown into jail, or I don't know, maybe because of Democrat DAs, they don't fear that anymore. But it really is just disturbing on so many levels. Well, I don't want to end on a downer, so there actually was a very powerful vigil, a very powerful memorial service in Washington, D.C. But first, I want to acknowledge and thank the members of today's Governor's Club. A special shout out to Jeremy 2001 Happy, 2 times Debbie Zito, Dennis Nevin, Cindy James. I'm not going to be able to read everyone just because there are so many, but Betty Black, the people I'm calling out, just very generous above and beyond, so wanted to specifically call you out. Michael Wagner, B. Dejian, Beans Gummy. These are people who give tips and super thanks to the channel. Sheena Ray, and so many new viewers. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Jenda Monero. Jenda, I've seen your emails. I'm not ignoring you. I just need a moment to catch up. Michelle Tran, Deanne Berger, and last but not least, Hope Roberts. So thank you so much. I'm glad that you're here, and welcome to the channel, and I'm glad that you enjoy. So, believe it or not, Washington, D.C. is even more blue than New York City. New York City, 67% for Kamala Harris. Washington, D.C., 92%. So very blue, but take a look at the turnout at the Kennedy Center, and you'll notice no counter-protesters. Yeah, the line just wraps around the building. Obviously, it zigzags for at a few areas. Many people spoke there last night, including Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. So just a very inspiring evening, and just a great way to remember the legacy of Charlie Kirk. As always, though, all of that is just my analysis and commentary, and that is what's going on in the world of politics, and I'd love to hear from you. So obviously, the left has been reacting. They've been showing their true ugly colors in response to Charlie Kirk's assassination. But on the right, there have been many vigils, outpouring of support, just incredible reactions of love, worship, unity, all of the good things. So my question is, do you believe that this is a true turning point in the country as in regards to maybe the conservative movement or the right side of the aisle, or do you think that this is just a blip on the radar? Yeah, people are going to come out, they're going to be active for a little bit, but it'll go back to normal or maybe even get worse. So let me know your thoughts on that. Is this a turning point, or is this just a temporary outpouring? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.